everybody, my name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about The Titan's Curse, the third book in the Percy Jackson Olympians series by Rick Riordan. So this is my favorite book out of the main series, and now rereading it again, it's definitely my favorite book out of the main series, and that is because this is the darker middle chapter. Things are starting to get a lot more real for our boy Percy here. He's 14 now, he's going through hormones and puberty, and he's noticing that Annabeth is taller than him, and that it's awkward to ask her to dance, and it's embarrassing to have his mom drop him off at battles, all that kind of stuff. But also he's being faced with the fact that, you know, the prophecy of, you know, who might destroy Olympus and all that kind of stuff is coming up pretty soon, and that could be him, and people are gonna die, and all of that kind of fun stuff that we have going on here. And I really love this book because it is so much darker, and we do get to really explore that darkness. And that's even reflected right off the bat because this book takes place, instead of during the summer, more towards the winter solstice. So already, like, the climate and the way that things are, you already feel how different this book is going to be, and it's very instrumental for Percy's character. By the end of this book, he is in a completely different place than where he was at the beginning of it, and that goes for all of our characters, really. Everybody has a huge arc in this, and I feel like in this book in particular, especially after you read the whole rest of the series, this is where so many things start. This is where so many things, like, it all comes back to this book and what goes on here and the way that things go, and I really, really love it for that. At the beginning of this book, Percy and his friends are going to retrieve two new half-bloods named Bianca and Nico from this crazy military boarding school, which that quickly goes south very fast. Part of it is due to the fact that Talia, who is now no longer a pine tree, and Percy do not really get along. Talia is the daughter of Zeus, so she's also a child of the Big Three, and she's only about a week away from turning 16, so the big, huge prophecy that we've had hanging over our heads throughout these books could be coming true very soon, and it could be about Talia, so she's kind of got a lot going on here. But when this mission goes south, it results in Annabeth being captured, and the only reason that everybody else made it out alive is because the goddess Artemis and her hunters intervene. She then sends Percy and everybody else, along with the hunters, back to Camp Half-Blood. She's gonna go off and try to, like, hunt down some of the stuff that Kronos and Luke seem to be kind of pondering and chasing down, and she goes missing as well. This leads to them obviously needing a quest to go and find Annabeth, to try to find Artemis. But Percy is not given the quest. Instead, it is given to the lieutenant of the Hunters of Artemis, Zoe Nightshade. She is allowed to pick 5 people instead of our original 3, and Percy is also not any of those. So it doesn't look like he's going to be able to rescue Annabeth, except Percy is willing to do anything for the people that he's loyal to, for the people that he is closest to. And from the second that Annabeth is taken, all he's been able to think about is saving her, because he knows that she is alive, and he knows that he has to try to find her. He knows that is the right thing to do, and it doesn't matter that he's not part of this quest. It doesn't matter that he isn't allowed to go and do it. He's going to do it anyway. This is a pattern that we've already seen develop over the first couple of books, him going to try to save somebody that he loves, and what we're learning here is that it's kind of developing into a fatal flaw, being loyalty, and that is a very dangerous flaw for a hero to have. It makes them very easily to manipulate. But the other weird thing about this quest is that, yes, 5 are going, but 2 people are prophesized to die, so isn't that fun? And Percy has to deal with the fallout of both of these deaths, and they both are very heavy, one of which has repercussions that we still feel all the way to the end of the entire series. So it's very intense, and it really changes Percy, and he just develops so much as the story goes on. We get to spend a lot of time with him on his own, and then once he does join up with everybody else, you get to see his dynamics with characters that we've never met before, characters that we've never seen him be around, like how he's going to play off with them, the different dynamics, and it really gives him and everybody else just such a huge arc. All of our characters are in a completely different place than where they were in the beginning, and that's something that I feel like our first 2 books it has, but those are mostly like light, happy books kind of introducing us into this world, and then suddenly you're just slammed in the face with feels when you get to Titan's Curse, which is very Harry Potter, which the series is very much following the formula of Harry Potter. But whenever I think of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, a lot of what I think of is Titan's Curse. I think of the Hunters of Artemis. I think of all of the damn jokes that we get in this book. I think of Percy's, burgeoning love for Annabeth and the way that he'll do anything to save anybody that he loves. And at the end of this book, he just really is ready to step into this role of, I choose the prophecy and I choose that it will be about me. And it just makes you very excited and interested to see where it's going to go next. And we're going to deal with a lot of the repercussions of this book almost immediately in the fourth book, because a lot of things start happening and a lot of things really start building as we move into the fourth book. Things start moving very, very quickly. But obviously I'm giving this book an A+. I'm probably going to give every single book in the series an A+, but I just love it so much, and I love this one. I love the darker middle chapter. You know me, I love me some angst. I also really love Artemis, and I really love that it takes place in a lot of snowy environments. So it just was practically made for me to love it. But I do, and this is one that I always go back to again and again and again. Whenever I read this series over again, this is always my favorite. I'm always excited to read this one, and it's awesome, and I love it. Highly, highly recommend it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything I got for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!